All right, good morning, guys. So I feel better today. I'm still hurting. Still have things going on, but I feel a lot lighter, a lot more firm in what I'm doing. Because I'm realizing what I'm doing is so rare. Like, before this, I was working. I was living like a regular American, working my dick off. Then didn't have kids. You're just so busy. This world has got you so busy, and it's on purpose. And it's on purpose, and it just keeps getting busier, and it's completely on purpose, guys. And then of course the fact that they want to bring in this UBI and pay everybody to sit at home, that's all on purpose. And the fact that they want to plug you into AI, that's all on purpose. All this, guys, this is all herding. This is called herding. This is called shepherds herding their sheep exactly where they want them to go. I mean, it's so plain and simple to see when you unplug from all the distractions that they've given you your whole life that you're so used to. We're so comfortable, we are so comfortable that all the pain in the world can be happening right in front of us and nobody cares. As long as you have what you want, you won't give a fuck. You sentence somebody else to death. Here, put them to death. Oh, they are living for free in a tent on the side of the road. Oh, put them to death. I mean, you guys don't care. That's what I'm saying. I want you to wake up and understand that you're so deluded in this game. You're so lost in this game. You haven't thought critically in years. In years. You guys have not thought critically in years. In the critical thinking you think you have done is just running in circles on some stupid subject, probably. You know what I mean? It's bad, guys. You got to understand, because what's going on right now is you have hundreds. Let's calm down. There are millions and millions and millions and millions of homeless in the United States alone. The homeless problem has gotten so bad that it's exploded. It's unreal. And so what you have is these homeless populations have nowhere to go, and so they're popping their tents in front of people who have homes, like on the sidewalk and shit, So it's causing chaos there. And then these people are working, going to work every day, and they're hating these people who are homeless. So it's just creating a bunch of division, and it all comes from your government. It all comes from your institutions. It all comes from your capitalist system. It all comes from all of this mess that we were born into. People have resorted to, if you guys don't know the amount of people who are living in their vehicles now, who are consciously have a job but living in their vehicles because they can't afford to live, to even pay rent, or even rent a room. Guys, half these cities, these major cities, people live in hours away. The police that police these cities live hours away because they can't afford to live in these cities. It's a mess, guys. This whole system is teetering, is what I'm trying to say. It's all on the brink, okay? This whole system is on the brink. And people are splitting. People are either becoming drones, mindless, senseless, entertainment consumers, materialist people who can't think a critical thought and refuse to because it hurts very bad. And those people are dangerous. And that's most of you. Most of you are those people. 95% of you are those people, probably. I'd say a good 90%. Right now, 90% of you are those people. Again, I've sat here for 9 months. I have nothing else to do other than heal and think critically and just solve problems. And that's what I do for work, guys. I'm a master troubleshooter. That's in my business. That's in my description. I'm a master troubleshooter. So I break things down and analyze them for a living. So I've had 9 months to just do that over how this whole system works and how everything's worked. And then being an abused person, being an extremely abused person, which I'm beginning, the word targeted individual came to my mind today, which is starting to make sense. So somebody who's seen abuse and how the system works everywhere in this whole fucked up world that Jesus made for you, in this whole effed up system, it's exactly resembling an abuser and abuse relationship. This whole thing that's happening, everything that's going on is reminiscent of an adult knowingly and purposefully, with malintent, grooming and abusing a child. And that is exactly what I'm seeing in all of this in society. Every time, all of this in society, guys. So people are splitting into people like me who are getting hurt, or something is happening in their life and they're having to reevaluate and figure things out. Or you're becoming a drone. You're getting sucked into the system. You're about to merge. If you haven't already, you're merging with AI. You can't think critically. When you think you're thinking critically, you're hurting people. If you're hurting somebody else, if your words are hurting somebody physically, like you're like, yeah, the government should get those homeless motherfuckers out in front of my house. Yeah, the government should do this. Yeah, the government should do this. Yeah, the government should go kill these brown people. Yeah, the government should go do this. Yeah, you are lost in the sauce. You are on the program. You are downloaded. That is the type of person I'm saying that you are. You are dangerous. You are very dangerous. You are like an Agent Smith. That is what you are. At any given moment, Agent Smith will take over and you will cut down a family member, a best friend, a relative, your own kids, your own husbands, your own wives, your own whatever. You'll cut them down and beat them to death until they get back on the program with you if they have a critical thought. That is you. And what I'm trying to tell you guys, lockdowns were a precursor. This is what I'm saying. Look, I've noticed that, yes, 9 months ago when I had this brain injury, that's when it just put my dick in the dirt again. But prior to that, now that I've had time to analyze and go back and see how I was reacting and acting, and when the lockdowns happened is when I started taking a decline majorly. And I didn't realize it because I was dealing with it like I had dealt with everything else my whole life, like we were meant to deal with it on the program, that shit happens, keep on moving, keep on trudging, work harder, work faster, work smarter. You're not doing enough. You got lessons to learn. Be humble. Pray to Jesus. You know what I mean? On the program. And not just praying to Jesus on the program. All this positive thinking, all that new age positivity, love horse shit. You know, Allah, fucking Buddha. My grandma's a Buddhist. All that horse shit, right? My grandma, you know what her thing is? She says to me every time I see her, I've seen her once in about 3 years ago. And then prior to that, I saw her, I think the last time I saw her was when I went to my cousin's house, my aunt and uncle's house to get that money. She was up there. I think those are the last 2 times I've seen her. So I've seen her twice in like the past 20 years. Every time she sees me, she says, life's too short to not be happy. That must be real easy to just not do anything all day. Yeah, my grandma worked. She worked at the Washington Post for an extremely long time. See, there's a lot of shit going on with my family, and a lot of it is tied into this money, because I have this side of my family who's so well off with money, and all they do is preach to poor people about it's weird, man. It's weird. And that's what I'm saying. If you're expecting, I'm trying to tell you guys, if you're expecting rich people to help you out, if you're expecting the government to help you out, if you're expecting religious institutions to help you out, if you're expecting anybody to help you out, it's not coming. And it's only going to get worse. And they're going to continue to control you. And my whole thing is, my life of abuse from my mother is an exact mirror image of the abuse that these world leaders or whoever's running this show are doing to the common people. They're gaslighting, they're manipulating. People are running around with Stockholm syndrome defending these fuckers. They locked, every government in the world locked their citizens down for 2 years and forced poison into their veins. And now everybody just acts, that was just a run up. It's coming. It's about to get worse. The whole financial system's going to crash. You're going to have, and you're going to have a choice. You're going to have to be like me and choose to go, barter system, whatever, or you're going to have to just plug into the system and get your UBI, get your chip installed inside of you, get downloaded every week, have your weekly scans in your phone. I mean, it's bad, guys. They're going to control it. They already do, but it's going to get even worse. And you guys just keep on writing your friends and family off and keep on being distracted. It's coming, man, and you're going to see it. They're even trying to, dude, there's people that it's gotten so bad. And wait till the all these idiots that ran around and bought homes in this past year off these fucked up loans again. There's about to be millions and millions and millions of more homeless. It's coming again. There's millions of regular people just barely holding on right now that are about to go homeless. Millions of them again. Just in the United States alone, guys. You're not going to hear about it. You'll hear about it, but it'll be their fault. They got lessons learned. They'll have to get different jobs. They have to look on the brighter side of life. And, man, y'all better wake up. You heartless motherfuckers, man. You some selfish, heartless people. If you just think this shit is just poor people that are lazy and, man, and you guys can sit there and pray to your Jesus. You guys are some lazy motherfuckers. You sit there, put in a movie, turn on your favorite TV program, have it playing all day, listen to you know all about your sports teams, about your favorite music artists. You know every song. You know how long the songs are. You know when different chords come. You know all this shit. You guys know what toilet paper your favorite movie star uses. You know all this shit, man. You know all this shit about Trump and about Biden. You know all this shit about the Ukraine war. You know all this shit about coronavirus. You guys are just so smart. You know what I mean? You're just so smart. All of you are just so smart. And to prove it, you got houses and mortgages and kids and credit cards, and you're trusted with all this financial responsibility. God damn, guys, you're a fucking joke. You guys, man, they got you all so wrapped up in this game, man. They got you to where you can't get out. When you're indebted to the system the way you guys are, how do you get out of that? I have no debt. I have no debt. I owe the government. I owe a couple individuals a little bit of cash, but that's it. You know what I mean? That's it. And it's been like that for goddamn 15 years, 18 years. I couldn't imagine you guys. I remember when I had my business, and it was necessary for me to run. And that's why I came to my mom and her husband, Dave, and asked, and I took a few loans from them, for a couple $1,000s here and there, when I started my business, because the banks were it was ridiculous. It was a scam. The whole system is a scam. Everything's a scam, guys. This is what I'm trying to tell you is what I'm trying to do is unplug, is to recognize how badly your words are like hurting poor people and your family and things that really matter. And the reason you do these things and think these things is because it's inconvenient to your comfortableness to have to think that shit is rough. And what I'm trying to tell you is, if you just got a mortgage, this shit could, with those interest rates going up, this shit could be right knocking on your door right now. So you better start thinking. You better start using this, man, and quit thinking your prayers to Jesus are going to do a fucking shit for you. You know what I mean? Did you guys even know what cognitive dissonance was? Has anybody taken the time to look up what the word cognitive dissonance is? Does anybody know what these brain disorders are? Does anybody know what happens in an abuser and abuser? Does anybody know what does displaying Stockholm Syndrome is? Do any of you know this? No, but I bet you can round off fucking, like I said, your favorite sports team's roster. I bet you can tell me how much money your favorite celebrity made last year. I bet you can tell me all kinds of useless fucking information. Tons and tons. I bet you're full of tons of useless information that the Matrix just has you wrapped up in, man. Wrapped up in hard. You'll abuse your kids. You'll abuse your fucking family. You'll abuse your neighbor. You'll abuse poor people you don't know. And you know why you'll do it? Because you have been taught your whole life to be comfortable. And if it makes you uncomfortable, it's not good. That's what you've been taught. That's what you were taught. You were bred to be a drone. You were bred to be in the system and keep the system running until you no longer service the system, and then and you lose your job and don't have any special, and then you're out on the streets, and now you're still part of the system, because then you're going to get a drug habit, most likely, because you didn't prepare mentally for this. So in order to deal with it, you're going to have to take a bunch of drugs. Now you're going to be a strung out drug addict on the street. So just another asshole that people are going to be like, see, all fucking homeless are drug addicts. No, you better prepare yourself now, guys. You better start preparing your mind for when daddy government no longer wants to take care of your dumb ass. What else can we touch on real quick? And again, I'm not mad. I'm finding I have a peace. Like, I can lose everything right now. I think about this a lot. Like, literally, I plan on sheriff showing up at my door, being kicked out of here, and possibly out of all my vehicles, having only one vehicle left and having to figure it out. And that is so, I welcome that. Like, if that were to happen to me, I welcome that, because having shit is very stressful. Everything you have is an attachment. You have attached yourself to everything you own. Ownership is a bad thing. It is not a good thing, guys. Ownership is such a bad thing. To own all these things is not good. It's called materialism. You guys are worshipers of things. You don't even know it. You think you're Christians. You think you're Buddhists. You think you're fucking following Allah. You think all these things, and yet in your house you have a million idols. You have a million things in your house that you worship, and you don't even realize it. Everything you own, you attach a part of yourself to. You are now attached to. That is why I'm trying to say, that's why when someone like me comes along, it's hard for you to understand someone like me, because the program is not meant for you to see people like me. People like me are supposed to be swept under used. People like me are supposed to be used, abused, a veneer of craziness put on them so that way nobody pays attention, and then eventually they just disappear because they're of no longer use to society in any way, shape, or form. And that's what happens to people like me. That's exactly what happens to people like me who don't play this game. So that is what happens, and it's coming, and it happens to people even not like me. Like I said, people like you who are who have mortgages and brand new cars and kids and schools and this, and I mean all this. Oh my God, it is so much, guys. It's overwhelming. I can't even put my mind into it. And I'm not. Look, what I'm trying to say is I understand how busy we are that we don't recognize these things. That's why it takes a voice like mine. I'm not here to judge you. I am here to expose you to your being hoodwinked. Like, my mom hoodwinked and abused and fucked me over my whole life, and is still doing it to this day through her passive aggressive praying to Jesus and telling everybody that I have lessons to learn. This is crazy, dude. This is abuse. She's still abused. This is your government abusing you. They are about that whole lockdown and trying to shove poison in your veins and fucking your brain up for 2 years and causing division between friends and family and all the shit. That was just your daddy government letting you know they're here. That was just them knocking on the door and saying, look, at any given moment, we can do whatever the fuck we want and you will obey. And that's what everybody did. Except for the 5% of us out there. 3% maybe. 3%, 5%. Yeah, everybody else just fucking fell right along with it. And that's dangerous. That's very dangerous, guys. And just to give you one more thing, this is a pretty cool, important thing. The level that they're going to now with this AI and how they're covering everything up. Those of you who are just now waking up, if you think you're going to go on the internet and start researching, guys, I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. Everything's in here. Because I'm going to give you one example. My son, my youngest son, he didn't know that the word government, its origin came from the Latin guber, meaning control, and mente, which meant mind. Okay? So I was telling him this the other day. Well, I had taught my other son this years ago. And I'd say about every 6 months anyways, just for shits and giggles, I would just type in government into Google. And the first thing that would pop up is the Latin definition, guber, control, mente, mind. The definition of government is the control of the mind. It's always been like that. If you didn't know that, again, you are way, 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 way behind. And this is for you, if you didn't know that. So I went on I went on the internet, and this was like a few weeks ago, to show my younger son. Because he couldn't believe it. He's like, Dad, are you serious? Government means to control the mind? I said, yeah, but. So I looked it up on the Google search like I've always done. Some French definition. Dude, who the fuck? Since when do they give a root French definition for a word? So what I'm trying to tell you guys, and then I tried searching for the and I couldn't find it. And I was like, oh my God. And then, so what that does is it makes me feel like, it's like, oh man, my son thinks I'm crazy, he thinks I'm fuck, blah, blah, blah. So I said, Aiden, I'm sorry, but they switched things up. I don't know why it's giving a French definition. I can't find the definition, but that's what it is. And we just left it at that, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't prove it to you, but he said, Dad, it's okay. He hit me up, was it 2 days ago? He sent me a text. He was at his school computer and was able to look it up on the school computer. He shot me a picture. He took a picture with his phone. And he was able to find it. And he said, ha, and he sent me a text and said, ha, Dad. So just to let you guys know that you're not going to, are you seriously? You're going to go to Google, you're going to go to AI, you're going to go to government, you're going to go to all these fucking people who have been dictating and lying and confusing and manipulating and using you and me and all of us. You're going to go to them for proof, and you're going to write me off and be like, oh man, he's just crazy, man. He can't prove none of that, man. He can't prove none of that. Where's his proof? Where is it? Proof's in the pudding. Proof's in the pudding. Where's his proof? You know what I mean? If you're that, man, you need to stay away from me, because you're just treading water. You're spinning mud. You're on the hamster wheel. I don't have time for you. I have no time for you. And I have no feelings for you other than remorse. Like, I feel bad for you because I know I've been that blind before. I know I've been that blind. And it's not good, guys. We were put on a program. We are beautiful, pure souls who were born into an extremely toxic, trauma-filled environment, beaten into cookie-cutter citizens, and immediately put on a program. It's no wonder it's like this. And what it takes to get out from under this program is going back all the way and dealing with your life. No more saying, well, this happened to me because Jesus. Well, this happened to me because this. Well, no. Go back, take things for what they are. If you have big areas of missing, foggy, that means there was major trauma involved, guys. That is not normal. Your brain does that. Your brain cuts those things off because of trauma. Okay? That is the only reason you can't remember is because of trauma. We have all been traumatized. Some of us way worse than others. Obviously, I am one of the worser ones. I would fall on the harder side of that scale, especially here in America. Definitely, by means, no way the hardest or anywhere near the hardest, but definitely quite interesting, especially when it comes to the psychoanalysis of the kind of abuse that I suffered and am still suffering to this day from a master manipulator. So, yeah, guys, just think about those things. It's all common sense, it's all critical thinking, and it's all in here. Or you can go turn on your TV and, forget what I said.